What makes someone malicious and devious? What makes someone callous and destructive? What makes someone an object of evil? What makes a guardian drowned in darkness? Dredgen Yor, the most despised guardian to have ever lived. The Destiny lore is some of the most interesting and indulging fiction I've read over the last couple years. Stories of hope and despair, good against evil, and most notably, dark against the light. Many veterans will remember the name of Dredgen Yor, but to some, only the cult that follows after the enigmatic figure. The one who became corrupted and fell down a vile and destructive path to ruin.
I mean, who doesn't want a good corruption arc? There's far many two redemption arcs in fiction at the moment. Like, yeah, Crows is cool and all, but I want to see someone be evil. I want to see why they're evil, man.
Before Dredgen Yor, he was known as Rezyl Azzir, a guardian of great stature, a fabled hero of the Last City who fought in many conflicts, even before the city was built. Such conflicts that took place were the faction wars that happened way back in the dark ages of humanity, and Rezyl even fended off great threats to the Last City, such as attacks from the Fallen, specifically the House of Devils, which Rezyl fended off with ease with his auto-rifle named Inferno, along with promptly and savagely beating the House of Devils captain, Iskori, to death with his own bare hands. As impressive as he sounds, Rezyl did not work alone, and formed fire teams of his own to help protect humanity and the Last City. One of such cases was while he was hunting down a fallen Kell. He enlisted the help of two guardians named Hassa and Tova, who would assist Rezyl in tracking down and taking out the Kell. Both Hassa and Tova did so by distracting and taking out nearby fallen skiffs that were patrolling around the Kell's ketch. Doing this, they give Rezyl the opportunity to strike. Rezyl knew the Fallen would open fire upon him the minute he charged at the ketch, so he had a plan in mind. Rezyl was able to cut down numerous Fallen before being blasted by a bombardment of the ketch's onboard weapons. As a group of Fallen started quickly swarming around the Guardian's body, the Kell along with them, Rezyl's ghost immediately revives him, and Rezyl swiftly raises his hand cannon Rose underneath the Kell's jaw and executes him on the spot. Rezyl then smashes his way through the remaining Fallen with his striker abilities, allowing him to make a quick getaway. Rezyl Azzir was a cherished member of the Last City, and a very noble man to look up to as a shining example of what a guardian should be. And that is what makes his corruption all the more despairing. Rezyl soon became plagued by strange, reoccurring nightmares, which soon drove him to travel to the moon in search of the Hive, where he encountered a strange Hive wizard known as Yor, the Blessed, who chanted prophecies to the renowned Titan, of death and destruction, of ruin and decay, of a day he would fall. Ignoring the wizard's chants, Rezyl then fought off her spouse, an unnamed but powerful Hive Knight. Rezyl fought this knight for hours while being trapped inside the infamous Hellmouth, but he would eventually succeed in killing the knight, and took its chitin as a trophy to adorn on his hand cannon Rose, before promptly leaving to return to the Last City, unaware of the corruption that had already begun. Over time, after his encounter with Yor on the moon, Rezyl started hearing whispers and chants in his head from the Hive Wizard, things that would slowly send the Titan insane, and eventually corrupt him. At this moment, Dredgen Yor was born. Corrupted by his rose and renouncing his name, Dredgen Yor had begun wreaking havoc anywhere he set foot. He began wielding the dark magic of the Hive, killing innocent civilians and guardians alike mercilessly, and consuming their light. It is confirmed that Yor is responsible for the murder of two guardians, a hunter named Pahanin, who had connections to the infamous Vault of Glass, and a titan named Thalor, who prevailed in the Crucible, until one fated day where they would end up in the sights of Yor's thorn. Eventually, Yor became so lost in darkness that he parted ways with his own ghost, his one and truly last friend, after the ghost failed in trying to make Dredgen Yor stop and to see the horrors he had committed. Everywhere Dredgen Yor stepped foot, only death and destruction would follow. One such settlement Yor had destroyed was the settlement of Palamon, and murdered its protector, a guardian and owner of the fabled hand cannon, The Last Word, Jaren Ward. However, Yor spared Jaren's ghost along with his young disciple, Shin Malphur, as Yor had anticipated that the young disciple would soon lust for revenge and hunt him down. Yor would plot to then corrupt him into darkness as he was. In the distant future, Shin Malphur did hunt down the corrupted Titan, and both had their climactic final duel at Dwindler's Ridge. Shin described the vile Titan as the darkest shadow he would ever know. Yor would only taunt and whisper temptations to Shin, but the gunslinger would hold still and vigilant. Out of a burning rage, Shin Malphur ignites his golden gun and blasts Dredgen Yor with 2 shots engulfed in a glow of fury, striking down the Titan. As Shin walked to Yor's corpse, he noticed how Yor hadn't even made a move for his hand cannon Thorn. Thinking of his mentor, Jaren Ward, and all those others that Yor had murdered and all the destruction he had caused, he aims his last word at Yor's corpse and utters, "Yours, not mine." And with his final blast, he disintegrates the Titan's corpse, bringing a swift end to the life of Dredgen Yor. Many years after the demise of Dredgen Yor, his dark legend and its influence had spread all across the system, and had gained a following among fellow Guardians. So much so that they had formed a cult suitably named the Shadows of Yor, which consists of Guardians in the Crucible who use their own replicas of the infamous Thorn hand cannon and only seek in the same path of destruction as Yor once did. But every shadow has one fear: the renegade hunter, the legendary gunslinger, the man with the golden gun, Shin Malphur, who has made it his purpose to hunt down any remnants of Yor and his dark legacy. For those who stride down the same path as Yor will meet the same end by the gunslinger's fierce judgment.
I'm pulling final audio from his ghost. Hang on.
I gave you a chance. Gave all of you a chance. I told you not to follow him.
You and I are the same. Sometimes we do the wrong thing for the right reasons.
Spoken like a true disciple. If you have any last words, now is the time.
You'll never kill us all.
I don't have to. You're killing yourselves.
For every shadow, there are only 2 options: leave the cult and seek redemption, or face the burning end of Shin's last word. Dredgen Yor is one of my favourite pieces of lore in Destiny, as he achieves this boogeyman-like status in the game's universe, as any mention of Yor brings nothing but fear or disgust to Guardians and civilians alike, after all the destruction and havoc he caused. And it really reinforces this narrative that even the greatest and most noble of Guardians can be corrupted and turned against the light, and become a threat to humanity. And that the Hive are conniving little bastards. I thought Dredgen Yor would be a suitable character to make a short video on, as it's something I've always wanted to do, and it is spooky month after all, so it's quite fitting. I hope you all enjoyed, and thank you for watching. Let me know if you want more videos like this in the future, but in the meantime, that's all for now. Until next time.